today, and I'm dressing up because they sent an email saying, oh, you should dress up, and I mean, like, YOLO. That's so cringy, but yeah, I thought, like, may as well just dress up because it's fun. And yeah, so I'm wearing this like red hoodie, the one I wore in high school, and I also have my, like, I don't know if you can see, my quarter zip, my black quarter zip underneath, because this red hoodie is cropped, so like not work appropriate, you know. And yeah, and then I got my hat, which I didn't want to put on right now while I'm driving, but yeah. And also because it's blocking my peripheral, I'm probably gonna flip it later, but that's fine. So I already had it flipped earlier, but then I'm like, I'm in the car, so I mean, why don't I just take it off? So yeah, this is the look with the hat backwards. And then also I have, oh, you can't see it, I have a bandana tied to my pants, and then I made little accessories. Oh, dang it. Okay, I made this little star and then this little flower power. So if you know anything about Mario, you would get the reference. If you don't, then that's your problem that you don't understand the reference. But yeah, I'll show you a different angle of my bandana, and yeah, we'll see if other people dress up for Halloween and stuff. And yeah, and also put my hair in like a loop. And yeah, so people might tell me like, oh my gosh, did you cut your hair? No, I didn't, but yeah. We were talking about Halloween and stuff, and she dressed up, and then I was not dressed up. Like, I didn't have my accessories on because I was shy and stuff. So yeah, but then I took a walk in the parking lot, and I saw her dressed up, and I'm like, ooh, like, should I dress up? And then she's like, you should do it. So she convinced me to dress up. Well, we were walking inside the building because she had just gotten to work and stuff, and yeah, but then she like had lost or forgotten her badge or something. So then I'm like, oh, like we should go look for your badge, and then I'll get my accessories. So yeah, so then I went to my car, I got my hat, and then I can't show it because I didn't take it off, but these, yeah. And then she went to her car. I believe she did not find her badge, but yeah, probably at her house. But yeah, and so then I put my accessories on and stuff like that. Me and her were talking about like, oh, she was like, oh, should we invite more people? And then I'm like, but like, I didn't want people to know that we got him a present, because then people might be like, oh, you didn't invite me to help. And yeah, so she's like, well, I can just like buy donuts and then we can just like give it to him after. And then I'm like, I mean, I don't want you to have to go get donuts. And she's like, no, it's fine, I'll just buy a dozen. But we only had like 6 people invited, so then she is trying to add more and stuff. And yeah, and so we do that, and yeah. Before that, she had said, oh, the customer said they're coming at 2 o'clock. But the thing is, I had already booked a Happy Halloween event from 2:30 to 3 with the guy whose birthday it is tomorrow. One of the guys who we're close with, his birthday is tomorrow. So yeah, so I'm like, oh my gosh, like now I have to move it. So then I moved it to 3:30 to 4 because the customer was supposed to come 2 to 3-ish. So 3:30 would have been fine. But then the customer changed the thing to 2:30 to 3:30. So then I'm like, oh my gosh, like now I have to move it again. So I moved it to 1:30 to 2, but then that guy that was like important to come because we wanted to give him his gift had a meeting 1 to 2, so we had to move. Then I moved it back to 3:30 to 4. I had a meeting 11 to 11:30. It's like a weekly sync before our meeting with the actual customer, so that everybody's on the same page before we talk to the customer. So yeah, but nobody showed up, and then the people in the conference room were just not leaving. So then me and this one guy had the meeting together by ourselves outside of the conference room. Kind of awkward, but it's okay. And then I had a meeting with this guy for troubleshooting, for him to fix my or update my computer. Yeah, from bookmarked or penciled in for 11:30 to 12, and I'm like, okay, sure. It's 1:53. Took my hat off. I'm gonna eat lunch right now, but I had this meeting with this guy 11:30 to 12, and he was trying to fix my computer and stuff like that, and ended up taking 2 hours and 15 minutes, and we still got nowhere. So basically for the past 2 hours and 15 minutes we've been like wasting our time doing nothing in a way, because we didn't get anything done. So that's great. 2 hours and 15 minutes trying to update my computer, and we kept running into issues of like the screen kept blacking out while it was trying to update, or it was updating and it had like the dots like in a circle, and then it would freeze, and then we had to hold the power down, and just, yeah, a bunch of problems and stuff. And he thinks it's a hardware problem, but not too sure. And since I have the customer coming at 2:30, then I'm like, I gotta go to lunch, because if I don't go to lunch, I'm not gonna go to lunch. Yeah, so then I quickly went to lunch. I have a meeting at 2:30, so I have to eat my lunch real quick so I can be back for the meeting. But yeah, the customer's coming. Other than stressing out about my computer, oh, and the guy doing my computer and stuff like that, we found there's a bunch more problems than we thought. So yeah. And there's these two other IT guys, the IT manager and then this other IT guy, and they know of like the problems kind of, because the guy I was with told them, but then they're not really doing anything. But guess he's on his own. Okay, it's 2:22. I'm walking inside from lunch, and I have the present with me. Yeah. So I have my lunch bag and the present. So I'm gonna drop my lunch bag off and then go to the other person's desk, assemble the present. And yeah, I have the 2 yerba mates. I'm like going into her bottom drawer. She said it was okay, because that's where the present was. And then I put the hat in the bag, and yeah, and then we just left it at her desk, and then I left my computer at her desk too, and then we went to the lobby with the customer, and the customer came at 2 o'clock, and since I had moved it back to 3:30 to 4, we were like, okay, like they should be done, right? And then we went on the tour and stuff, and then 3:30 hits, and we're still with the customer. The guy whose birthday it is tomorrow was like chatting and stuff and being all like where are you guys at? Because we're with the customer, so we can't really leave, you know? So then we like chat and stuff, and we're like, we're still with the customer, like we'll be there shortly. Then she tells the PM, oh, like I'm gonna grab something from my car, and then yeah. So then we go, and yeah, and then this guy saw us, and then he's like following us to her car. So yeah. And then as we're going and stuff, then I'm like chatting, and then I said we'll be there shortly, and then the guy whose birthday is tomorrow was all like, are we just taking a picture? And then I chatted back, and I'm like, the advanced projects girl has something, and then eye emojis. So because she had donuts, but nobody knew she had donuts, so except me and the guy that was following us to her car. So yeah, so then we go, and then she's still like talking to the customer and stuff. So as we were waiting and stuff for the advanced projects girl to come, the door was open, and people were like walking by and staring, because there was like a bag of like Krispy Kreme donuts sitting on the table. Then we're chilling, there's 3 guys and me, and then the advanced projects girl is still in the lobby talking to the customer. But yeah, then we're just like waiting for her and stuff, and yeah, and then she finally comes, and then we grab donuts and stuff. She got festive donuts. We're chilling, eating, and we do take pictures of the people dressed in Halloween costumes. Well, the guy whose birthday it is tomorrow was like taking pictures of the 3 of us, and then the guy who was like not in the picture because he wasn't dressed up, and then I'm like, wait, like shouldn't you take the picture, because the guy who was taking the picture was dressed up. So yeah, so then that guy took the picture and stuff, and then I'm like, can you just like spam the shutter button? like take a bunch. And then yeah, and then the guy whose phone it is was all like, isn't that what like people normally do? And then I'm like, some people like take pictures and then you ask them to take a picture and then they only take one picture. So yeah, so the guy was like spamming and he's like, oh, I didn't know if your storage space was shy. And then this guy who's friends with the girl who brought the donuts chatted, and he's like, so where's the room? Because he never goes into the offices, so he doesn't know, I guess. Yeah, so then she's like, I'll come and get you. So then she went out to go get that guy to let him in because his badge doesn't work to get into the offices and stuff, and she left the door open, and then we're just like still eating donuts, and then the EVP of the company peered into the door to look and see what was happening. And we're just all just sitting there eating donuts. Yeah. So that was a little awkward, but then she's like, so then she knew who one guy was, because he wasn't dressed that crazy, I guess. He was dressed as a video game character. A sim he had like a little like plum bob bite on his head, but yeah. And then she's like, who's that? And then she looked at me, and then she's like, oh, it's Nikki. And then there was this other guy sitting near me, and then she's like, who's that? And then he was completely unrecognizable because he was dressed as Lord Farquaad. And he had like the wig, the whole outfit on and all that. And yeah, and then he said he's gonna take it off after HR takes a picture because they said they wanted to. But yeah, and so then they're like, oh, like, let's take a picture. And I didn't know if I was like included in that or not, so then I was just like chilling in the room like, okay. And then the guy who's dressed as the sim, that would have been so much easier to explain as, the guy who's dressed as a sim comes back in the room and he's like, come on Nikki. And then I'm like, okay. So then yeah, and then the advanced products girl and the warehouse guy who's her friend come in the room, and then he grabs a donut, and then he's like not dressed up. So yeah, so then we go and take a picture, and then we're like about like lingering outside of the conference room now to take the picture, and then that guy has to leave because he has a really short break. Yeah, and then we take the picture and stuff, and yeah, then we get going, and as we're walking away and stuff, I like completely lost my memory. So yeah, and then the advanced projects girl is all like, wait, to the guy dressed as a sim, and she's like, oh, can you come over here with us? And then I remembered we had the gift. So then yeah, then he comes, and then, well, he's like, let me put my wig away because it was itching him. And yeah, so then me and the advanced projects girl are like walking out the door. She's gonna go give a donut to my PM friend, and then we need to get the gift too. And then the guy comes out, and I'm holding the door to the PM area. He comes out of that office area, and then I'm like, go into the conference room that's right next to his desk. And he's like, okay. So then he goes in there, and then I go fully into the PM area, and then I grab the bag, and then we both go out and then to that conference room, and then we shut the door and say happy birthday, and then give him his present. Yeah, I think so. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. And then I go back to my desk, and my computer's there, and then that IT guy that had taken my computer left a note, and he's like, your computer's fine to use, if any issues, call me. And then he left his phone number. So yeah. So Halloween today, it's been honestly a really good day.
All Hallows Eve, the one day of the year it's socially acceptable to play dress up. The only question is, who do you want to be?